So today we celebrate the feast of St. Maximilian Kolbe, a Franciscan friar. I was mentioning before Mass, he happens to be one of my favorite saints for many reasons, but he's a man who's a Catholic priest who basically did the simplest of acts and yet did it with so much love and graciousness. And that's why he's a saint, not because he wrote volumes or was a great preacher or any of those things, but that he acted like a Christian. He's from Poland. He was incarcerated in Auschwitz in about 1942. Of course, Auschwitz being one of the worst camps, and many people were being murdered on a daily basis there in the death camps. And there was this man who was in a group that were being taken to be executed in the gas chambers, which we think of gas chambers being somehow a nice way, or at least a civil way to do it. In the Nazis' time, the gases that they used literally burned your lungs. It was an acid that was used, and so not only was it a death sentence, it was a horrible death sentence. And this man was protesting. He says, "I have a wife, I have a family, what are we going to do?" And the Max Kolbe heard his protests and stepped up and very simply said, "I'm a Catholic priest. Take me." And he was executed. That was simply it. They exchanged places. The guards said, "Okay," and he was executed that day. The interesting thing is he was made a saint, canonized about 40 years later, I believe, in the 80s. And the man and his wife and his children and his grandchildren were all at the canonization. They all attended the canonization. So the things that he saved, this man and this man's heritage and his children and so on, grandchildren, were able to see this man canonized. And to me, that's very powerful. My brothers and sisters, we're called to love simply. We make things very much too complex sometimes. We're always at, well, is this right or is this wrong? We're called to love. We're called to make sacrifices for other people sometimes, which is difficult. And what's our reward? Well, we heard it in the Book of Wisdom. The souls of the just are in the hands of God. And for great saints like Maximilian Kolbe, I'm sure his soul is in the hands of God. Amen.